Okay, so we're going to look at some economic functions, and the first one we're looking at is this consumer surplus. The idea is if we have some demand curve, so let me draw in a demand curve here. So we have some demand curve here. Now, the idea with the consumer surplus, the idea with the consumer surplus is that if the price is fixed at some value, we'll pick some value, say right here, and let's call that value P bar. All right. For whatever reason, it could be due to various things, the price has been set at this level P bar. Now, some of the people would have been willing to buy the product for more than P bar dollars. Right. There are some people that would have been willing to have bought it for less, for more. Right. You're going to give me that. You're going to give me that Elmo doll for $5. Well, I would have paid $10. So, yeah, I'll definitely take it for $5. And so, some of these people that would have been willing to spend more saved money. Saved money. They got everything for cheaper. Now, of course, once you set that price at P bar, we have cut some people out. Right? There are some people, $5 for the Elmo doll. I would have paid $4.50 for it, but there's no way I'm paying $5 for the Elmo doll. But we're looking at only the actual consumers of the Elmo doll. Right? We're only interested in the actual consumers of the Elmo doll. The people that didn't buy it, well, hey, that's their problem. We're not worried about those. So these people that bought it, the ones that would have paid less, or would have paid more, sorry, have saved money by having the price set at P bar dollars. The amount of money they've saved is actually this gold area here. We'll make it gold because they're saving it like money. So that gold area there beneath the graph but above P bar is the amount they saved. And that surplus can be given by a definite integral. And so this consumer surplus is equal to the definite integral from 0 to x bar, and I'll tell you what x bar is in a moment, of the demand equation minus P bar dx. See, what we want to find here is this area. The area beneath d of x would be actually all this area, right? The gold area plus the stuff in this little box here. But see, the stuff in the little box is above P bar. So that's why we have to subtract P bar off, so that essentially we just take that graph and we're shifting it down so that the P bar is really taking the place of 0. And that's why the definite integral works. Now, where does x bar come from? X bar is just the price that leads to, or the quantity demanded that leads to P bar. So x is just coming from that P bar. So if you know the price, you just find the use the demand equation to figure out, well, how many things is that going to lead to? How many things is that going to lead to? Okay. So let's take a look at an example here using this consumer surplus. The demand function for a certain, this is actually just example 1 from your book on page 468. It says the demand function for a certain make of 10-speed bicycle is given by P equals negative 0.001 x squared plus 250. Where P is the price and X is the quantity demanded in units of thousands. So P is the price, X is the quantity demanded, in thousands. So directions tell us, it says determine the consumer surplus. Well, they also ask about this other thing, and I'll talk about that in a few moments. The consumer surplus and the producer surplus if the market price of a bicycle is set at equilibrium. Alright, so I also have to tell you the supply curve then, since we want to set at equilibrium. So supply curve was 0.0006 x squared plus 0.02x plus 100. Right, and that's our supply curve. So first thing we have to do is find our equilibrium point. Find our equilibrium point. How do we find equilibrium? Yes, that's supply equal to demand. Okay. We are going to skip that point, and I'm just going to tell you that that equilibrium occurs at x equals 300 and at p equals 160. So we've talked about how to find equilibrium before, so I'm just going to kind of skip that so we can get right into our problem, which is we want to find the consumer's surplus. So now we know where we want to go to. We know what the P bar is. We really call those P bar and X bar. P bar is $160. That's the price it's set. Some of the people would have been willing to pay more than $160 for that 10-speed bicycle. Other people are just going to decide they're not going to buy it because it's too much. And we know that at that price, they'll sell 300,000 bicycles. And remember, X is in units of thousands.
Just think how many more they'd sell if they threw it in Elmo all over.
Yeah. 10-speed bike with Elmo? Oh my goodness gracious. So to find our consumer surplus, we do the integral from 0 to x bar of our demand equation minus the set price, p bar, dx. So now it's just a matter of filling in each of our pieces. So that would be integral from 0 to 300. Our demand equation was a negative 0.001 x squared plus 250, and then we're subtracting off p bar. P bar was 160, the average, or the set price. Dx. So now we just need to work out that definite integral. And again, if you want to go and use that numerical integration program that I showed you, you can. Again, remember that'll be under function integral, so fn int. And again, that's under your math menu. And then fn int. So you can just go right in and put that in fn int. Put in our function, which I'm just going to go ahead and simplify a little bit. Negative 0.001 x squared. 250 minus 160 would be plus 90. Comma x. Comma 0. And the other endpoint was 300. Or you can compute the definite integral like we did earlier in class. And either way you do it, you get what? Should be 18,000. So if you compute the definite integral, do the antiderivative, evaluate it at the endpoints, you get 18,000, or if you use this numerical integral function on your calculator, you also get 18,000. Now, what's the consumer surplus? This is where we have to go back and be a little careful here. Okay, X was in units of thousands. So we were really not counting 300 units sold, we were counting 300,000. So we have to take our answer of 18,000 and say, oh, multiply that by 1,000, and we get 18 million is our consumer surplus. So our consumer surplus is actually 18 million.